All right, I want to say welcome for tonight. I am so excited. We are here 9 at night. It's Friday night, and I'll tell you, this is the night that has absolutely the best time because it's all about the fun. We're talking traveling all around the world. We have Huckleberry Travel. We have the owner, Thomas Anderson from New York tonight, and he has a great topic. It's called Portugal. We're going to meet him, and also our world traveler, our very own world traveler, and he's in Costa Rica right now with his family, and that's Andy Bowman. So I'm so excited to get that. I'm Christine Campbell, the host of 9 at Night, and every night from Monday through Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have fun. Then Monday night's all about the business. Tuesday night, it's all about motorsports. Wednesday night, it's all about the talent. Thursday night, all about finance. And tonight, it's all about the fun. We worked a full week, and it's time we relax and get to enjoy the world together. So I'm excited, and we're going to get started with this. So excited to introduce you to our first guest here tonight with 9 at Night, every Friday night. And he is an owner of Huckleberry Travel. We've been having Aaron, one of his associates, on each week. And so we get to meet the owner himself, one of the owners. His name is Thomas Carpenter. So we all call him Tom. And I'll tell you, the friendliest person you'll ever meet. And I think that's why the Huckleberry Travel is absolutely successful. Tom is a full-time travel agency with Huckleberry Travel. They're with travel advisors based around the country. So you have just the first class experience with each one. He's a proud member of the American Society of Travel Advisors and serves on the advisory board of Uniglobe Travel Center. Each year, his company sends clients around the globe to every continent and over 60 different countries. And get this, prior to launching his travel business, he had a long career as a labor and employment attorney. Now you know why he likes to travel and have fun and have other people have fun. But after more than 25 years practicing law, he decided to follow his passions for travel to launch the new business. And that's now, and let's meet Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hi. Thanks so much, Christine, for having me on your show. I'm really happy to be here.
I still can't get over what a wonderful choice you made to switch so you wouldn't get a burnout.
Well, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I went to law school for all the, idealistic reasons that young people go to law school and, wanting to help people and do good things in the world. And I just got to the point where I thought, you know what, like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And in the meantime, I was really passionate about travel. And so, wanted to do something entrepreneurial. And that's how Huckleberry Travel was born.
Well, and it's interesting how I found you guys. I thought I'm just going to go for the gusto. And I look up the top national association. That's the right start for a research to look at the reviews. And you're on the front page, excellent reviews. And I thought, let me just give this a shot. I call and you personally actually answer the phone. And I'm thinking, wow, this is cool. And you actually said yes. would love to be on your show. So I can't say thank you enough because you have so much to offer.
Well, thank you. That's really kind. Truthfully, I mean, that's really what this business is about. Travel is all about, for us, it's about the personal relationships. And so,
Mhm.
even though we're a small company, we are and a relatively young company. We've pretty quickly, kind of risen to a position in the industry where I feel like, people are paying attention to the things that we're doing,
Mhm.
and I really love to kind of, bring that kind of personal touch to planning travel for our clients. So,
Well, I have your website up, and I love the way it's laid out. You have anything you want to particularly point out on this front page?
well, yeah. So we try to update our content regularly. We have articles there that are not so much about selling travel or pitching a deal to somebody. It's really more about kind of getting people excited about the different things that are out there in the world that you can do. And we're really passionate about giving back, and so some of the posts on our website are about things that we do to promote sustainable travel, not just environmentally sustainable, but also socially and economically sustainable. We a lot of times, if there's a cause that we really believe in, like one of the earlier articles up there was about a dormitory in Laos that we helped helped launch a fundraising initiative during the pandemic to help students who would have to walk miles and miles through the forest to get to school, that they could actually have a safe, clean place to stay, things like that. But we pay attention to travel trends, and then there are certain destinations that really capture our interest, and so we just really try to write about those things.
I think you're just the genuine apple pie of America, literally. And what better pie than a huckleberry, right?
Right, exactly.
Being from the Northwest, we love huckleberries. Now, here's one article, The Rise of the Workcation. Isn't
Yeah.
this so true? My daughter just came from London to New York. She's been all over Europe, but that's what she does. Her business is remote by computer. And
Mhm.
so your travel agency would be perfect for anybody to come to a where can I go next?
Right. Yeah. And people are really realizing that with a good, strong internet connection, you can work from so many different places. And why not have your office be on a balcony overlooking the beach, if if that's something you've always wanted to do, or even on a cruise ship. Obviously, as a travel business, we travel a lot, and I've been known to get up really early in the morning to take a call with a client from wherever I am in the world. And it's the great thing about I would say um, one of the only things about the pandemic that's maybe a good thing is that a lot of people have realized that it's now possible to work remotely, and employers are now okay with that. And so it's really turned out to be a really good thing for people who want to work remotely.
Well, I love it. And I'll tell you, your articles are phenomenal. Now, it's also more phenomenal is your background as a lawyer. You definitely know how to make sure to cross the T's, dot the I's, and make sure everybody's safe on their travels.
Absolutely. I mean, we do prioritize safety. We want to make sure that our clients have the best possible experience. And so we work with supplier partners that we can really trust to make sure that our clients are going to have a great experience wherever they go.
Now, what's also, and the website's so easy, it's just huckleberrytravel.com. I mean, how simple can you think of your favorite pie? Everyone should have huckleberry pie as their favorite. And then just put the .com after travel. What do you want to do on my travel? Okay, you got it. Huckleberrytravel.com. What's interesting, I remember way back when, I'm much older, but when it was so new to even work out of your home, you weren't
Mhm.
recognized as a business if you weren't, in an office somewhere. Uh,
Right.
and now you're saying everyone's going on vacation because it's by remote. Why not have the whole beach site as your desk? You know,
Right.
Yeah, I love that. So what we're going to do, I wanted one more before we do our feature area, which I'm so excited to know about. But last week, Erin was mentioning about the specialty packages you put together. For
Uh,
example, having camping inside a zoo.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have, we really try to keep up to date on, the really special things that you might not even know are available to do, and find the supplier partners that are going to be able to make that happen. So just by way of example, like one time, when this was when our business was really new, and somebody called me and said, hey, I want to go to Morocco, and I want to ride camels into the desert, and I want to stay overnight in a Bedouin camp in a tent, with me and all my girlfriends. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know if I can do that, but I looked into it, and sure enough, I can make that happen. And so they did. They had a wonderful time. They sent me videos of, they were out in the desert, and the sky was beautiful, and the local people were, playing the drums, and they had a big campfire, and they were all drinking wine and having a wonderful time. And so, really anything you want to do in the world, we can make that happen for you. But we can also probably find some things that maybe you didn't know about that you might be excited about too.
I absolutely love that. Now, here's the thought. I was kind of mentioning that to Erin too, is what about those that want these different types of honeymoons that they didn't even know about? You can
Mhm.
actually, how much do you go through helping someone with that destination honeymoon to the point where you're becoming a planner, for the festivities as part of, here's the thing, with that, you could tie it in with all of the wedding planners
Mhm.
and say
Yeah.
you're an extension or they work with you. Do you have that set up? Are you looking at that?
For sure. We've actually done destination weddings for people,
Wow.
where if they want to, rather than getting married at home and in their, in their local congregation or their church or in front of a judge, if they want to go and get married on a beach, we work with resorts that have wedding packages like that, and your guests can all come and stay at a wonderful all-inclusive resort and watch you get married on the beach, in your bare feet, if you want.
Wow.
um, and then from there, do a honeymoon. We even have on our website, there's a honeymoon registry. So if you're getting married and you don't want to have, you don't really need your wedding guests to give you stuff. They
Mhm.
can make a contribution to your honeymoon, and they could buy you, maybe an upgrade for your flights, or they could buy you, a couple of nights in a hotel in your destination, or maybe a special, maybe you want to take a cooking class, or maybe you want to go on a wine tour, or whatever it is. Aunt Mary can buy you a special excursion for your honeymoon, or a romantic dinner, on the beach or something like that. So we have a honeymoon registry on our site as well. And anybody who's interested in talking to us about either a destination wedding or a honeymoon, we'd love to talk to you about that.
I absolutely love that. Now we are going to talk about a country that is our main theme today. So tell us about why you picked this tonight, and we'll start with some of this pictures that you started. And we're talking
Sure.
Portugal.
Absolutely. So I love Portugal. I just love it. And it's been front of mind for me because I'm actually going back in a couple of weeks, toward the end of the month, for a conference. But Portugal is, right next to Spain. It's on the Atlantic Ocean. And it is, in my way of thinking, it is really one of the hidden gems of Europe. It's, for a long time, it was kind of off the radar as a tourism destination, but the people are lovely. The food is incredible. And, as we go through these slides, you'll hear me talking a lot about the food because it's so good. But also, just really, really beautiful. So this picture here, this is a shot of Lisbon, which is the capital and the largest city of Portugal. And you can
Let's
see
come back up. There
there
we
we
go.
go.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
But you can see that, there are some hills, so you want to bring good walking shoes for those cobblestone streets, but you can kind of see, it looks a lot like Italy and some portions of Spain. It has that real Mediterranean feel, even though it's not technically on the Mediterranean, but it's beautiful. So this is actually one of my favorite places in Lisbon, which is the Time Out Market. And you might think Time Out, that's like the magazine that has all the things to do in New York City or whatever, but Time Out is, it's basically like a big food court with Portuguese food. And you walk around and there are all of these little specials, specialty restaurants, little kiosks, and so you can get a small plate of this and a little bit of that, and maybe go to a bakery and get a delicious pastry. And it's a really great way to have an introduction to the fantastic food in Portugal. So
excellent.
yeah, and there you can see the people kind of sitting in the middle of the food hall, just eating the little plates that they picked up at these little local stalls.
So they have different shops all the way down there of different food, and then you just okay, like an indoor mall has or something.
Yeah, so one place might have grilled chicken skewers, and the next place might have homemade bread and pastries. And one of the things that's really special about Portugal, they have these little custard tarts that are fantastic. They're called pastéis. And it's just absolutely delicious there. And it's hard for me to go to Portugal and not finish off every meal with one of these little tiny custard tarts.
Oh, wonderful.
And the tiles, Portugal is known for their beautiful tile work, and especially these kind of blue and white tiles, sometimes with some yellow or red mixed in there. But you'll see these all around Lisbon, and it's a great souvenir to bring home. Oh, and this is the monastery out by Belém, which is just outside of Portugal. It's a beautiful monastery, and you can go out there and tour. And if you go to this monastery, right across the street from the monastery, there's a little restaurant called Os Geronimos. And Geronimos is the name of the monastery, but this little restaurant, Os Geronimos, every time I've gone to Portugal, I've gone there, I walk in, it's a seafood restaurant, and I'll just walk in, and the guy who owns the restaurant's always right there at the front. And he's very welcoming, just the part of the lovely people in Portugal. And he ushers you to a table. And the first time I was there, I said, well, what do you recommend? And he said, don't worry, I'll bring you your lunch. You're going to love it. And he just brought me everything that he thought I should eat. And it was the most incredible fresh grilled fish and potatoes. And it was really fantastic. So Os Geronimos, near the monastery in Lisbon, don't miss it. They're really lovely. And then here, this was just a little stall in Lisbon. They were having this kind of little outdoor market, and you can see the amazing hams they have there. I think I ate more ham in Portugal than I've ever had in my life.
Now, is this smoked ham?
Yeah, these are aged hams. Some of them are smoked, some of them are just dry aged, but they're all really, really delicious.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm so hungry right now. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can see that's a sandwich with you can see the little tiny thing of bread, and then the ham that's just overflowing from the sandwich.
That is, how do you eat it?
I ate it quickly. That's how I ate it.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I definitely want to keep that one for my husband to see that one.
Yeah, it's incredible. And the ham was just so good. And, no mustard or anything, just this really, really thinly sliced ham that was so delicious with a really nice rustic bread. It was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then you can also get just little plates of ham with some bread and some cheese. And you can see they give you a little bag of crusty bread. And it's it's the perfect snack to just kind of sit down, have some bread, some cheese, and there's a little bit of fig jam that's in that little cup that's in the middle there. I told you I was going to be talking a lot about food.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely are. That fig jam, that sounds, but look how much ham. I mean, this is a beautiful plate just for a snack. That's
Yeah, just a little,
beautiful.
just a few things. And then
Mhm.
the other thing is Portugal, they are known for their sardines, which I am not, particularly jazzed by sardines, but
Mhm.
I have a friend who really enjoys them, and he's actually a chef, and so he said, "Bring me back some sardines." So I went to this place that sells all different kinds of sardines, and brought him back a couple of tins, and he announced that it was the best, they were the best sardines he'd ever had in his life. And it's just, little tin sardines, but he eats them on crackers and loves them. So
Now,
if
what
you if
about
you're
the cost of everything over there? Is it pricey? Is
it's
it less?
no, it's not. Portugal is one of the most affordable countries in Europe. And so, if you're looking to have a really good experience with that doesn't break the bank,
Mhm.
Portugal is really, I mean, you can definitely have a luxury 5-star pull out all the stops
Mhm.
experience, but
Mhm.
even those luxury experiences are not going to be nearly as expensive as if you were in France or Italy or another country in Europe that might be a little more expensive.
That is excellent.
Oh, and so this is outside of Lisbon. There's a town called Sintra, which is actually where the Portuguese royalty used to have their summer palaces. And so
Mhm.
to escape the heat of the city in the summer, they would go up to Sintra. And these are true fairy tale castles. They're just gorgeous. And so this is one, as you're kind of walking up to the castle, that's what it looks like.
Mhm. Oh,
And then
it's beautiful.
yeah, and then as you continue, you can see like that's before you're even in the castle, just as you're going up to it. And it's just, I mean, it's like something out of Aladdin or
Now,
something
is
like.
it privately owned or can it be like a destination wedding place or?
It's a good question. I don't know if you could I'm sure you could do a destination wedding there, but you can see, as you're going through the gate there. But it's open to the public as a museum. But it is, I mean, it's just kind of
Gorgeous.
gorgeous, and sort of like who built this, and like that's one of the courtyards inside. But I would imagine that, if you planned ahead, you could find somebody that's inside one of the castles. They had these crazy kind of statues with, holding up like it's like a candelabra chandelier kind of thing. Sintra is really incredible. And there's not just this one palace. The next couple pictures, well, that's the kitchen in one of the palaces. I just thought it was interesting that they kind of restored the kitchen the way it used to be
Look
in
how
the
huge
back
that
in the
is.
day.
With
Yeah,
those arches and is it all stone?
yeah, yeah. It's and all restored, and like all of these beautiful copper pots. It made me,
Oh
it
my
really made me
gosh.
wonder. Oh, and then we were walking around on the grounds, and we saw this incredible horse that was, I've never seen a horse this big. It was just huge, like bigger than even a Clydesdale that you would see. And it was this special breed of horse that they have in Portugal. I don't even know what kind it was. Maybe somebody who's watching can tell us, but it was just a gorgeous and just huge. When we saw it coming around the corner, we were like, holy smoke, what is that? But
That
it
is
was cool.
gorgeous. Oh, I
Yeah.
love horses. And then go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, and this is another part in Sintra. There are other castles in
Mhm.
the area, and so this is another one that's uh, kind of on these beautiful grounds where there's like a gorgeous botanic garden kind of thing. Um, and then I think the next one, yeah, you can kind of see you're kind of surrounded by the gardens, and then just like out of the lush greenery, there's this turret. You go up to it and you see that it goes all the way down. There's like a spiral staircase that goes all the way down
Oh my heavens.
into like underground. And so we climbed down this staircase. We went down all of these steps, around and around, all the way to the bottom. And at the bottom, there's this cave, and there's kind of like a little maze to get out. You can climb back
Okay.
up the bottom, but basically you have to kind of you go down a couple of dead ends, and then it's really not that hard. There are just two different paths that are the wrong paths, and when you get to the end, you just backtrack and go to the next one. But when you finally come out, there are these little stepping stones that get you out of the grotto, which is really kind of cool.
That is so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's like fairy tale, just like you said.
It is, yeah, it really is. And then this is on those same grounds in Sintra. This is another one of the palaces that you can go through. A really gorgeous kind of Gothic house, but a very different style than the other one we saw that was kind of Moorish. But oh, and this is a town. This is another town that's kind of outside of Lisbon a little bit, called Obedos, and it was one of the most charming little towns. Probably not worth more than a couple of hours, but definitely worth a stop. And just these really charming streets. I think the next slide will show you some more of it. So that's like the over. It's a walled city. There was a wall around the entire city. You can walk on top of the wall. And this is a picture that we took from the top of one of the walls. And you can see these just little white houses and the little narrow streets and the people down below walking through.
Oh my gosh.
Um, and then after Obedos, near Obedos, there's a town called Batala, which has this really beautiful cathedral. And I can't wait for you to see the next pictures that are from inside the cathedral, because they're really special. Um, but
Okay, let me go to the,
yeah,
there we go.
so that's still on the outside, but the thing is, you can see the clouds. It was kind of a cloudy day. The clouds were partly cloudy. The clouds would come and go, but when the light came through the stained glass windows, that's what it did inside the cathedral on the stone. It was all gray until the clouds would part, and when the sun hit the cathedral, it made these beautiful colors, almost like watercolors, on the sides of the pillars inside the church.
That's
And
absolutely gorgeous.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it was
Look at
really,
that.
and on the floor as well. It's just, it was really magical. It was one of those things where you're like, I can't believe I'm here. And then there's a monastery attached to it, of course, and there's with another beautiful courtyard. So really beautiful things there.
Absolutely gorgeous. How thrilling. This is, oh, look at that.
Yeah, it was really something else. And then we went to Coimbra, which is a university town. And this is actually the lobby of the old Art Deco hotel where we stayed. And it was a really iconic classic property with a lot of history in it. And I just thought the lobby was just like, like it was like stepping back in time or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah. And then this is the university in Coimbra, which, interestingly enough, J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter books,
mhm.
spent a lot of time in Portugal earlier in her life, and this university was part of the um, inspiration for Hogwarts in the Harry Potter
Oh, I
books.
love it. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
and
That's
you
really
can
cool. I
see.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and you can see these are the students at the university, and they're all wearing these like black capes, and they're kind of dressed like Harry Potter. And so we
I
thought,
love it.
yeah, we thought it was really fun. And then you can go up on the balcony and kind of overlook the courtyard, which we did. It's really, really beautiful. And there you can see them. Don't they look like wizards?
They do, they do. This is just incredible.
Yeah, and there's a really interesting library in this university, where I'm just tell a little bit about this.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't let you take pictures inside because it was really old. It's one of the oldest universities in Europe and one of the oldest libraries.
Mhm.
But the way they preserve the books in the library, and there are only two libraries that do this anywhere in the world, and they're both in Portugal, and this is one of them. They have basically at night, to keep the insects and the moths and things like that from chewing on the pages of the books. They have these little holes that are like little entranceways for bats, and the bats will fly uh, into the library in the middle of the night and fly around and eat all the insects and flies and mosquitoes and things like that, and the bugs that would harm the books. And then the bats fly out by morning, and they're all gone by the morning. And that's how they preserve these books. And it was just fascinating to me. But
That
anyway,
is, that
yeah,
is really creative too.
exactly.
It goes the Hogwarts with the with the bats. I mean, it goes together, right?
Yeah, exactly. And there's some more Harry Potter stuff coming up if there's anybody who's really into that. But this is Porto, which is a city in the north of Portugal. And if you like port wine or you've ever had port wine, this is where it comes from. They grow it on the Douro River a little farther in, which is also a fabulous trip. We didn't go there on this trip, but I've been there before. The Douro Valley is just fantastic. But you can see that really high bridge across the Douro River. But Portugal is Porto is on one side, and then on the other side is where they have all of the warehouses where they would store the big barrels of port wine. And you can go over to those port wine houses, they call them, and do a port wine tasting, which is really nice if you enjoy those wines. Again, lots of steps to climb up, but it's really beautiful. And you can kind of see these beautiful quaint streets, and it makes you wonder what it would be like to live in one of these houses where you woke up every morning and walked out your front door and that's what you saw, right?
I lived a short time in Puerto Rico, about a couple years, so
Oh,
they
okay.
kind of have the same similarities.
Yeah. So, and then there's the Douro River from one of the bridges across as we were walking across.
Oh,
And
that's beautiful.
yeah, again, it's just a beautiful, beautiful city. And you can see along the river there, all of those umbrellas that are kind of along the esplanade, lots of places that are really great to just sit there and get some lunch, or maybe have a glass of wine, or watch the boats go by. It's a lovely, lovely way to spend a day. Oh, so here's the other Harry Potter thing. There's a bookstore in Porto that was also inspiration for Harry Potter, and it's got these incredible, staircases that go up and around, and lots of books. And the next couple of pictures are of this bookstore. They
Oh
have
my
these
goodness.
little tiny ceramic heads that are kind of like affixed to the sides of the bookshelves, and so like it's kind of like what are those, ghosts? I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
kind of crazy, but really cool to look at. And you can see it's just a beautiful old bookstore, and because of Harry Potter and people associate this place with Harry Potter, there's a line to get in, but it's definitely worth it, if whether or not you buy a book, just to walk around a little bit. And there's the staircase in the center. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
So yeah, so it's busy continuously, you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so this is again, this is Porto. You can see, the places along the river where you can sit and watch the world go by. It's just really lovely. And then of course taking a cruise on the river is a really great thing to do. If you're interested in an actual river cruise, there are river cruise companies where you can book a trip on the Douro River to go out into the countryside, and you're staying on board the ship. They're small ships and they make stops, and all sorts of beautiful things to see and do when you get out there. But even if you're just doing a 1 hour just cruise around the city and the town, there are 7 bridges. They call it the city of 7 bridges because there are 7 main bridges that go over the Douro River, and that's one of them right there. So
Oh, this is beautiful. Just excellent. Just excellent.
and then this is back in Lisbon. So it's a really easy train ride between Lisbon and Porto, and you can of course stop in Coimbra if you'd like, or other places. It's really easy to get around by train if you want to do that. But back in Lisbon, one side of the city, near the old town, there's an actual castle, and it is exactly what you would expect from a castle, with the towers and the walls and the moats and everything like that. And it's definitely worth a visit to go up there.
Oh,
And you can
beautiful.
see, yeah, you can kind of walk around on the old walls and kind of see through the little things and imagine what would happen if you were trying to. And this was just a menu that I took a picture of. I can't even remember what that is.
So
Oh, I think this is from Cincinnati, actually.
oh.
I included the wrong,
Cincinnati will work.
I included an extra one. I got the wrong one.
Well, that was a tour. I feel like I've been there now. You did a
It's
wonderful
just,
job.
I mean, it's a really, really incredible country. And, especially if you're a foodie and you like good food, really incredible. And like I said, the people are just lovely, so friendly and welcoming, and it's not expensive. It's not a trip that has to break the bank. So,
Mhm.
whether you want to travel independently or if you want to join a small group tour, we have lots of partners that we really trust who can make sure that you have the best possible experience in Portugal, and we'd love to talk to you about it.
Well, I sure enjoyed this. I'm so thankful you came on. I can't wait to know what adventure we're going to have next week. And again, we have Thomas, a carpenter, and he goes by Tom with Huckleberry Travel. As you can see here, there's an easy number to get to. It is toll free, and huckleberrytravel.com. Any last words, Tom?
No, just only to say thank you again, Christine, for letting us be part of your show. We really are grateful for the kind words that you said about us and our business, and we're happy to continue to participate. So anytime you need us, just let us know.
Excellent. Well, thank you and have fun. I guess you guys have a bunch of trips, and again, we sure do appreciate you. So I can't say thanks enough for Tom for being here with us with Huckleberry Travel. And wasn't that fun with Portugal? Oh my gosh, I just absolutely loved it. So now we get to go with our other world traveler. I'm so excited. And before we do that, we're going to have a little break for our nonprofit, and that's the Standish Foundation.
Having a child in the hospital is incredibly hard for parents and really difficult for the child too. But seeing a child smile because we were able to add a little bit of happiness and fun to their healthcare journey is an amazing feeling. In fact, it's our passion. Working in the US and overseas, I was sad to see that healthcare-related pain and suffering is universal. So, in 2010, Standish Foundation for Children began work to transform the healthcare experience for children. Today, we work to create new ways to help children and their families make the best of a tough situation.
Our caring and dedicated team is volunteer-led and made up of patients and parents, as well as professionals who are clinicians, educators, and advocates. Our team members have devoted their lives to helping children and are experts in addressing the psychosocial needs of patients and their families. Together with healthcare providers and donors, we work to make the healing process more hopeful and happy.
Our team collaborates with children's hospitals, clinics, and nonprofit organizations in the U.S. and around the world. We also support hospitalized children of U.S. military personnel. We guide in the education of staff and parents, teach child advocacy, offer psychosocial support, and give financial assistance to make the child's healthcare experience as positive as possible.
As healthcare technology continues to evolve, it's important to remember to embrace our common humanity. Fear is present for well checks, emergency room visits, as well as complex care involving surgery, chemotherapy, or organ transplantation. These procedures are scary, and we believe that no child should have to be afraid to go to the hospital or to the doctor's office. We know the research and strategies to minimize pain and suffering, and we know healthcare and healing can be positive. In fact, when children experience healthcare in a positive way, it contributes to their physical and emotional well-being, helping them reach their full potential.
We are honored to have donated over $200,000 in hundreds of volunteer hours to support 40 hospitals and clinics in the U.S. and overseas. Annually, our programs impact over 500,000 children. We need your help.
We need your help.
Now we need your help.
We need your help.
We need your help.
To further transform children's healthcare experiences and to ensure each child and family has access to a positive, hopeful, healing experience.
All right, I had myself muted that whole time. I was talking about Andy Bowman, introduce him. Andy, I'm so glad to have you here. Andy is a world traveler. He brings his family with him. He does have the day job, but he can try to do that by his computer. And it's just so amazing how he's able to go over to 70 countries so far, and his family's been there. And I just want to say welcome. And you're in Costa Rica right now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. Great.
I felt sorry about that. I was muted that whole time and I was doing this
I was
backwards.
wondering, I was wondering if there was something going on there. So
Yeah, well, you're a
no
pro.
problem.
I appreciate
That was
your
great.
patience.
The whole thing about Portugal, that was really interesting.
Yeah, you've been in Portugal. So do you remember some of those places?
Yeah, it was the food court that he brought up used to be like one of our favorite places to go. So in Lisbon. So that was, I actually kind of forgot about it. So it was neat to see that again. And then the town of Sintra outside of Lisbon, and we used
Froze up a little bit, Andy. You froze for a minute.
Oh, sorry. I said Portugal is one of those places. I have to echo everything he said. It's just like this hidden gem of Europe that not too many people know about, and it's really something everybody should see. It's amazing.
So now that big sandwich, the ham, that's all ham with just a slab of bread. Did you have one of those?
I did not have that, but I did have the pastis dessert that he talked about, and it has become a staple in our family for Thanksgiving. So every Thanksgiving, I make a huge plate of this. So it's something we brought home to kind of share with family and friends. So
that is excellent. Well, I have some pictures from you guys being in Puerto Rico, or not Puerto Rico, in Costa Rica right now. So I'm gonna kind of show these so you can kind of tell us. You're there, you go like, all summer and plus, but this is at a resort, and there's your beautiful wife right here, Lindsay, and your daughter, Adelaide, and William, and your brother, Devin. So let's talk about this resort.
I haven't stayed at this resort. So it's a resort that's on the beach, and it's also a beach club. So which the thing I wasn't too familiar with, but there's several of them here in town, and you can, I think what happens is people pay monthly fees, like a monthly due, and they can access the facilities. So you can kind of hang out at the pool, and it's right on the beach. So you have access to the restaurant and whatever their other amenities they have. So we were there for the day. We had like day passes just to kind of check it out. So
oh, that is cool. Yeah, it's been fun to see you in Costa Rica, the things that you're doing now. You're from Coeur d'Alene, and I want us to all learn about how you do what you do, because you've been able to pay for everything through vacation homes. But let's talk about why you have so many vacation homes here in this destination resort area.
Well, I mean, I didn't always. I mean, I've just grown through the years. Coeur d'Alene, if you're not familiar with it, it's
and your sound went off. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It's just.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a lake town in North Idaho. There's a big resort there that brings a lot of tourists, and we have a beautiful lake. A lot of boaters, some great golf courses. There's Silverwood Amusement Park, which is really popular. I think I might be wrong on this, but I want to say it's the biggest amusement park in the Northwest, at least. So we get a lot of people from Seattle, Portland, Canada. It's grown a lot since I've been alive. I grew up there, so it was always kind of a local tourist spot. People come over from Seattle, and there'd be a handful of people from California or some along the West Coast. But in the last, I'd say 10 years, and I can kind of gauge it by my vacation rentals. I used to just see people from like West Coast destinations. Now I see people from all around the United States, people from all around the world. I get people coming over from Australia. I've had people from France, so it's kind of neat to see like this small town in North Idaho kind of become an international destination, or at least on people's, spot of places to go. So
So when you started, what was your first idea to even start a vacation rental?
Well, I was thinking about this. So I started, and for a long time, I rented my own home. So, and it's not that uncommon, and it's not as difficult as people might think it is. So I was, in my mid-20s. I had a home in Coeur d'Alene that I owned, that I bought, like my first house, saved up for my down payment, all that stuff. And my wife, at the time, we were not yet married, but we were set to be married in Santa Barbara, California, which is where her family lives. And so we were spending 3 months, I think 3 or 4 months in Santa Barbara, just to kind of spend time with her family and prepare for the wedding. And so we rented another place in Santa Barbara. So I kind of had this 2 payments going on, like my home in Coeur d'Alene and a rental in Santa Barbara. So I just started thinking, well, my house is empty in Coeur d'Alene. I know people come here to visit, so maybe I could rent it. And that was way before Facebook or before Airbnb. So I don't even remember how I found someone. I probably posted an ad in the newspaper, like we used to do. And so, yeah, I found somebody who was just staying for a few months, worked for the Forest Service, was over there for a short job, cleaned my house up. He just rented it furnished, and it worked perfect for him, and it paid for my place in Santa Barbara. So, so that kind of got me thinking. I was like, this could be a thing maybe. And then I think the following summer, Coeur d'Alene has a really big event, the Ironman race. There's several around the country, but we host, I think, one of the more competitive ones. And so it wasn't too uncommon for that week, which we call Ironman week locally, for people in the downtown area, which is where the Ironman race occurs. It wasn't too uncommon for people to rent their own homes, just because it was a way for them to kind of fund their vacation. So that became a thing. People would just kind of pack up their stuff a little bit, and it's what we did. It would take us maybe 2 days. We'd get our personal items and get your clothes out of your dressers and stuff and shove them in the closet, lock the closet, make sure there's nothing embarrassing laying around. And then people would rent it from us for a week, and we would leave for that week and go on vacation, and it would pay for it. And so then that kind of led to, I think I did that for a year or two. And then I started thinking, well, shoot, right afterwards is 4th of July weekend. And I know that's popular.
Mhm.
And I've already done all the work to prepare the house, to get it cleaned, to pack all my stuff up. So maybe I could try renting it for longer. And so I tried doing that. And I want to say it took me a little while. And nowadays, the main advertisements or marketing sites that people use are Airbnb. Most people are pretty familiar with that nowadays. But Airbnb hasn't been around forever. I want to say 2009, 2010. Prior to that, there was, now they're rebranded as Vrbo. So we used to call them VRBO, but which I still tend to say, but Vrbo, those are kind of the 2 big ones. So back then, I think I started listening on Vrbo maybe at the time. That was before Airbnb was even around.
Mhm.
And I was amazed that I think I booked out my summer. So pretty much from end of June till August, I had it booked. So then I was told my wife, well, we're gonna have to figure out something to do this summer. Figure out where you want to go. And so we started going to Asia actually for a while. We were spending a lot of time in Thailand and Vietnam, Cambodia, just kind of exploring, Bali. Did that for a few summers. And then it kind of got us comfortable with it. And so then we kind of grew from there, started, saved up, bought another house and turned it into the same thing. And then just kind of went down that.
You have 9 rentals right now, right, in Coeur d'Alene?
Yes.
That's awesome. And then how do you have it managed? Do you hire a management team or what?
I don't. So there are those out there on your screen, like Vacasa. That's a management company. I know some people that use them. Management companies take 30%, usually 20, 30. I mean, it kind of can depend. So I just tend to do it myself. It's not, I mean, the summers, it gets to be a little hectic because that's our real busy season. But what I do is most of the marketing, I mean, once you have it marketed online, you create your website, you get your pictures, you do all that. Now the software for a lot of these sites, the pricing used to be kind of difficult because you weren't really sure, like if you were pricing it too low, too high. If you're smart, you would maybe price a little bit higher on higher demand periods like 4th of July weekend or Labor Day weekend. But now, and so you used to be a lot more tedious to kind of do that. You had to kind of really look at what the competition was, like any business, kind of see what other people are pricing things at and do something competitive.
Right now here's one of your homes in Coeur d'Alene, and you have it just 82 a night. Now that changes in the summertime, right? During the Ironman.
Yeah, and that's not, so the way that these platforms do this, and it is a little deceiving. So 82 a night is like, they'll put in an information, they'll say, what's your lowest rate you'll go? What's your highest? And then they always display the lowest. But if you put the dates in, you put like a check-in date there, it'll show. So 82 a night would be as if a person was renting for 30 days, like a monthly discount at a certain period.
So if I put like June or something? Or does that when it starts going up?
Yeah, like 23rd to that would be kind of beginning of June is usually kind of slow. It'll go up, but it's
we like go July. See what that is.
July, yeah.
And then checkout date is like the 5th or something. So 4-night minimum.
Yeah. So put put the checkout date. You didn't put 4 nights, you put 3. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I did. Okay, so
press the 6 there. Press the 6.
Oh, hello. Thanks. Okay, I'm reading through this. Okay, and if let's say it's a group, so it's let's say it's 6 adults. Okay, so does it go up if you have 6 adults? Oh wow, it's gone up to 450, and that's normal. That's really how it happens, right?
That's the rate. Yeah, I mean the Coeur d'Alene, it's not a cheap town like people tend to sometimes think it's gonna be. I mean, hotel and a hotel, like a 3-star hotel, that time of year, you're paying $200 a night. Motel 6 is $180.
So it's 15 guests for this, 3 bedrooms, 7 beds, 1 bath. So that's still pretty reasonable, especially during Coeur d'Alene. But
yeah, that's kind of priced at the cost of two Motel 6 rooms. I mean, and you get beds, and you can. So this one, each of my houses are kind of for a different target audience, right? This is for someone who maybe is more on a budget, but because it'll host, you can sleep with a lot of people there if you wanted to. So I get church groups, I get, Boy Scouts that are just happy to because a lot of hosts won't take more than 6. And you get Boy Scouts or a church group and they're on a budget, but they got a bunch of kids who just want to sleep in sleeping bags on the floor. They don't. So they're happy to kind of have an option available. They're taking them to Silverwood or to the lake or something like that. So.
Oh, excellent.
So for this house is kind of for that type of traveler.
Okay, so you have another house here, not that one, this one right here. And that's a downtown beach bungalow type home.
Yeah, so we just remodeled it, and so unfortunately I gotta get some better pictures, but it's kind of just within walking distance of downtown to the lake, and all my houses are kind of in the downtown area, which I say has 80% of the attractions of Coeur d'Alene. I mean, there's a lot of the lakes there, the beachfront. There's a really nice hiking trail called Tubbs Hill that a lot of there's some great parks. There's like a water splash pad for like a kid's water splash pad, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, anything water sport related you can do, and you can walk there from this place if you wanted to.
So with your 9 houses, and then you do all the repairs yourself, don't you? Most of them, or hire them out?
I mean, I do and I don't. So I used to do everything. So when we first started this, we were a growing business, I guess, like anybody. And my wife and I, we did all the cleanings, there was a few summers that we were cleaning them ourselves. We'd get in there, we'd have people checking at 11, people checking in at 4, and we'd be in there just mad dashing, trying to get everything prepared and, be in a sweat when we were finished. Now we hire people, we have cleaners that we hire. Same with the renovations. So in the past, something that I could afford at the time was more of a remodel or something that needed to be fixed up, a fixer-upper. So that's what I did. I bought a lot of kind of houses that need to be fixed up and did most of the work myself. But that last one you just showed, I hired someone to do that actually, but which was
yeah, I bet it is. So this is
sometimes having 2 jobs is a lot of work.
Yeah, so this is a 100-year-old home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And look at all of, go ahead.
Oh yeah, this one we wanted to keep the character of the house, like that was our thing. Some people like to, make it all modern. We wanted to make it kind of like it was like a period piece, I guess you'd say. And so that's what we attract to our audiences, kind of staying we did a lot of traveling in Europe, so we really were inspired by like the 300-400-year-old houses you see in Europe. And so yeah.
Oh, I love that. And a lot of this, like you redid, there was no upstairs at all. So you did all of this yourself with the skylight windows and everything. Just cute as anything. And then it has an apartment back here too. Is that part of that one night stay, or is that a different?
Yeah, it's a little they call them like mother-in-law quarters or a guest house. It's like a little separate house in the back. And that one you're showing right now was my original house, like it was my home that I rented for years. We moved about 6 years ago, but we still have a lot of memories there. So.
That is excellent. So it's just amazing what you can do with an idea and have it just a quaint little European. I know you have some artifacts from Europe that you brought back to help decorate it. So,
yeah, we usually always try to, that's our souvenirs, is we try to grab, rather than some people collect spoons or, some sort of, we try to collect something that, like an art piece or something that reflects the culture of where we've been, and we like to display them in our homes.
So the way with 9 homes, I'm sure there's a lot in Coeur d'Alene, but if they look them up, then any of them that's by Lindsay, is that correct, or yours?
Yeah, this is my wife's account. Yeah, she manages this.
So it'd be anyone by Lindsay, then it's one of Andy's. Well, this has been a lot of fun, Andy. I'll tell you what, you do so well, and with 9 homes and having all those bookings done, no wonder you're all over the place enjoying your world with your kids. So with your,
go ahead.
What?
Oh, I was gonna say, that's how we manage them. So now we do manage them ourselves, and we do that even when we're gone. We have trusted cleaners that take care of them for us. We kind of set up a schedule for them, and they clean them for us and kind of let us know if anything's needed. I have a repairman on call that I utilize if something goes wrong, which something always does. There's always something that breaks, and but it works.
That is excellent. I sure appreciate you sharing that with us. It's been really nice to kind of have people have ideas, like you've been started with doing your own home and just renting it, and it does help you're in a destination area, but why not? Especially, where's your next trip after Costa Rica?
Probably. I mean, we're actually kind of talking about it right now. So we're in the process of planning our summer. We usually leave around mid-July until Labor Day, around there. So ironically, we were discussing going back to Portugal. So we don't, like I said before, we don't often travel to the same destination twice because there's just so many places in the world to go explore and see.
Mhm.
Portugal, ever since we left, we've always said we want to go back. We love Europe, we really do. Europe's just a really unique place. It's just got a lot. I'm kind of a history fanatic, so in architecture, so it's got a lot of both those things. My wife, well, we both love the ocean or any place near water, so we'll probably either maybe Lisbon or Nice, France is another place we've really fell in love with. It's right on the Mediterranean coast in France. And so I think those are the two that we've kind of been playing around with the most. So.
Well, we'll definitely have you on the Zoom and you can tell us all about those places too. Well, Andy, I'll tell you, I sure do appreciate you being on here. It's so much fun to just kind of see what you do and how you do it so well. So with that, I just want to say thank you. And, you know, it's interesting enough through life. I mean, your kids have such a wonderful upbringing from different dishes. Do any of your kids, with William and Adelaide, even Zoe, your three kids, do they have a particular country that they love and love the food? Are they all individual?
I'd say they're all individual. They do have their, you know, it's tough to, it's tough to say. I think my 15-year-old daughter is kind of the biggest foodie amongst us. So she's pretty particular and she's very vocal about what she likes. And so she loves Thai food. They love anything with raw fish. Funny enough, like sushi, but poke, that's a Hawaiian type of raw, it's fish, but on rice.
Mhm.
They love that. What's really popular here in Costa Rica is ceviche, which is, I think it originated in Peru, but I think there's always kind of a debate about that. But it's fish marinated in lime juice. And then
I've heard of that.
it's like, it'll have different herbs and things like that in it well. So actually all my kids love raw fish. I guess that's kind of random.
And it's good. You guys have such a healthy diet. I mean, you guys are used to healthy food. So, you know, Andy, thank you so much. Is there, for anybody wanting to know about your personal rentals in Coeur d'Alene, if they want to take a trip there, is there just go on Zoom and look for the ones by Lindsay, or do you have a website for them, or an email?
I'm actually kind of working on that now, like just having my own website. I've always just kind of used, really going through the Airbnb or Vrbo platforms are super easy for everybody. They're easy for guests, they're easy for the owners, just because the payment's taken care of. No one has to worry about anything. The contracts are taken care of. There's insurance for everyone. So I usually just kind of tell people to go through the site and, they can reach out to me from there. But
well, the most fun of having you on the show is you are my son. And I love talking to you every week. So to say thanks. I miss you so much and miss your family. So this has been a wonderful trip for us. And so again, thank you so much, Andy. I really, really appreciate your time. We're going to move on. We're at the end of our hour. That was so much fun, wasn't it? We just basically just had a wonderful from Portugal, and Andy saying Portugal. So we know Portugal is definitely a place, and it's all about making a positive difference here. So I just love it. We're here at 9 at Night every weekday night. We have some incredible guests nationwide, coast to coast. We will be branching international Monday. It's all about the business, and that's in the network marketing business. So you need to get on to see what that's about. We have an excellent CPA. We have some wonderful guests, a publisher of a worldwide network marketing magazine. So all the updates, if you want to get in the scoop. Tuesday night, it's all about the drive. That's motorsports. We have some incredible guests on motorsports. Wednesday night, all about the talent. We're talking, not this week is coming up. This next week is going to be Joey Wells with Bill Haley in the Comets. So he was the original from that, and he's done in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything. We also have another guy who started his band, and it's amazing how he did it, and it's really going. So we're going to have some fun with that Thursday night. And Wednesday night, we have an incredible talent company that definitely has helped people get into the movies and on the runways and everything in between. So we can't wait to have that night. Thursday night, it's all about finance. It's all about the money with our chartered financial analyst. As my co-host, we have amazing tips on that. And Friday, it's all about the fun, which you just experienced. So I can't say enough how much fun it is. We have a commercial for the cause. One moment. And so what we had a wonderful time with Andy. We have some that are called in. And so that commercial, because you can't see the slides, it's all about a new book that's come out called Maybe 101. And it's for the network marketing from inside out. But we have people that are not in network marketing, and they love it because it shows you about 80% self-development. And it doesn't matter where you're at in life or whatever. Excellent tips. And you can get that by going to christinecampbell.world. And that's exactly what it is. And you can order it from there. So thank you so much. We're at the end of the show. We just absolutely love everybody. We loved having Andy Bowman, our world traveler, on here. We also loved having Thomas Carpenter on here from Huckleberry Travel out of New York. Just incredible people making a difference. So stay tuned and stop in every weekday night at any of our 9 at Night shows, and we sure appreciate you. You're the most important.